Let's start off with trade. Now, this is the nub of the issue. I'm going to bring up this chart. It is GBTV space 364. It is this U.S. trade deficit with India has just gotten larger and larger over the last few years. Now, how do you turn that around? Is there really any hope of turning that around, as Donald Trump wants to do?
Morning, Rashad. Yes, I think the emphasis, I think, in any diplomatic high-level discussions, I think both leaders try and set an affirmative tone to the meeting, and I think that's what the statement seems to suggest as we go over the weekend's visit. As per trade, I think U.S. trade deficit with India is again way smaller than it is with China, so I think that bone of contention is higher there. But with India, I think if you see U.S. share in India's trade, if you were to talk about merchandise trade and you talk about FDI, it's actually been moderating over the past decade. But the same is not true of the service trade. In fact, U.S. accounts for a big chunk of India's service trade, and that is very important because that is a big plus for India's balance of payments, current account, math, and everything. So, and I think that's, like you rightly pointed out, that's where the problems are. When you talk about the H-1B visas, Indian professionals have made a big chunk, about 60–70% of those issuances last year. But that is quite a contentious issue, and I don't think that will really overcome or rather overpower the discussions that are going on. But certainly in there will be a message that, U.S. could go easy on these professionals, and if these are skill sets that are not available onshore, that that kind of non-immigrant visas should be allowed. On U.S. side, I think U.S. will look for India to lower its entry barriers so that more of U.S. exports can head to India. And we have seen a couple of big-ticket announcements already made, about Boeing sales and also some defense equipment sales that have been ongoing. But overall statements, I think, affirmative. Sorry, you're going?
Yeah, Radhika, I suppose it actually perhaps is more symbolic than anything else, this meeting taking place between the world's two largest democracies and indeed one of the world's fastest growing economies and indeed the world's biggest economy as well.
Absolutely. I think since President Trump has come over, so this is a first visit by the Indian dignitaries, and PM Modi has also been very eager and to forge deeper international ties. Before US, he was in Europe, where the climate change as well as broader trade agenda was on par. So yes, diplomatic. Yes, it's symbolic to the extent that India wants to show that it's open for business. It's looking to attract more FDI into the infrastructure as well as the technology space. And I think the US visit will also be a step ahead in that direction.